Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Mark Schultz here with DigitalAircraft, and we are here for our session of late night NFTs. And Gabe and I are here. Hey, Gabe, how's it going tonight?
Doing well. It's an awesome day. A little bit smoky, but Seattle, there was a little bit of smoke that's starting to clear. So it's getting
there?
a little better.
All right. Okay. It happens. Summertime. Yeah, it's rough out there. But hey, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. And you know that on Thursday nights, we've been trying to share a little bit of insight and info into different NFT programs. And tonight we're going to continue our series. You know, last week, what we did was we shared a little bit of information about business strategy and how people utilize NFTs as utility NFTs and how they use them to be able to provide their products and services out there into the industry. And Gabe, I'm going to come back to you in a second and ask you to sort of talk a little bit about utility NFTs and how people are using them there in their business. But before I do that, hey, can you help us out and share this live stream? Just got back just moments ago from Miami, and we were down at the Aircraft IT conference where we had a great conversation about blockchain. And we talked about how people are using it in aviation. And really, there was a lot of interest in it. And I had so many people coming up to me and asking me about it and really enthusiastic. One guy, he drove from Naples to come down and see the presentation. And I was really happy to see that people are so excited that they actually are doing that. But if you could help us out and share this stream, I'd really appreciate it. Hey, during the broadcast tonight, we'll try to answer any questions that you might have. So you can always put your comments down in the comment box below, and we'll try to answer them. But hey, Gabe, you know that last week we talked about NFTs and utility NFTs and how people can use them in their business, and specifically how we were leveraging that in our business. Can you just give people a 30-second rundown on what a utility NFT is again, and what is it really, the purpose and function of it?
Right. So utility NFTs, once again, they have a certain function. Okay. So they have a function attached to it. So, right, we've got normal NFTs, which are bought and sold on the open markets and, traded amongst traders and collectors. And, but just a utility NFT is attached to the business or the collection, and they have some sort of special they have a function. So we've covered a bunch of different projects that they had NFTs that had different use cases, real world use cases. And
what were some of those, Gabe? What were some of those, just quickly, that we covered over the last 2 months?
Yeah, so we covered one of the ones that we covered recently was Travel X. They're working on an NFT ticket. The NFT ticket is what they were calling it, and
they were live, isn't it? Yeah,
it is live, and that one's where they were selling a plane. Their goal is for plane tickets that are NFTs. And another one was Air Baltic. They're releasing a bunch of a couple of different NFT collections, and they are attaching loyalty programs to those NFTs for holders. So there's a whole bunch of different.
Cool collectible. Their Planeys NFTs is actually I think it's coming out this week or something. And if you could buy their cities collection, which was basically a commemorative collection of their NFTs for the different cities they fly to, and then they came out with their Planeys ones, which were their plane representations. And I remember what Artur's Gardis told us. He said that people can choose one that really matches their personality, and so that was really cool. That they're doing that. And so last week, what we did is we focused on how can you take something like the momentum that's out there behind NFTs and how can you use it maybe in your own business? Now, we know that NFTs are being used for records in the industry, and they're being used for various different purposes, and they're picking up speed and being deployed in a lot of different areas today. And so what we were focusing on last week was that if you're a business which wants to maybe attach an NFT to your products and services, what could you do to do that? And we talked about the strategy. We said, find a valuable product and service, a utility, and something that people want and something that's in demand, and then attach that to an NFT to make it easy to market it and to be able to make it easy for people to acquire and purchase that. So, Gabe, that's kind of what we talked about last week. Do you have any other, thoughts? I mean, what else can you think of that, we sort of talked about, why would someone want to use a utility NFT? Why would people want to do that?
Right. So, well, when it comes to blockchain, we're seeing the utility of things really, come to fruition here. So projects that have utility are getting a lot of traction and around the world when it comes to blockchain or crypto or NFTs. Anything that has utility, these are going to be used in the future. And we're seeing
ETH jets, Gabe. What about ETH jets? I mean, that's one you introduced me to like 2 months ago and 4 months ago now. And
that's a huge one.
You said, man, you need to check out ETH jets. Let's not lose an opportunity to tell people about ETH jets. Tell people about ETH jets real quick.
Well, so ETH jets is another company, and their goal is to put people on empty legs on private jets, on charter jets, right? And so if you acquire a NFT, one of their NFTs, ETH jets, you're able to purchase empty leg seats on different jets.
Yeah, and you have one, right? I have one. So
and we do have one.
Yeah,
and exactly. The prices, what were they saying? I can't remember exactly what Nick Scott said, but the significant.
For as little as $1,200, they're going to make empty leg flights available, to the average person, right? And now you might think, well, $1,200. Well, listen, depending upon where a flight is going, could be 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 for a charter flight.
90% drop. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're talking about having 5 to 6 or 7 seats, available to. So if you acquire one of these utility NFTs, ETH jets, then you basically have access to their app, which gives you access to empty leg flights. And if there's one that's there that you want to purchase or jump on, you actually can buy it, but you have to be an NFT holder. That's utility. So the utility is the business function that you get by holding the NFT, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about, right, Gabe?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So yeah. So anyway, good. So listen, some of you know that we created our own NFT project, and so what we wanted to do tonight is we promised last week that what we would do is we would walk you through some of the process that we went through so that if you wanted to do that in your own business, you could do it. Or I'm just going to say right up front that, we help people to do that. And so if you're interested in doing something like this in your own business, you can reach out to Gabe and I and our team, and we can work with you to help you to be able to implement something like this in your own business. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk tonight about the process that we went through, the actual technical process that we went through at a high level, because it would take way longer than 20, 30 minutes to, go into details about how to do it. But we want you at a high level to understand, really what we had to do. So it all started with our identifying what the needed business services were in our business. And so for us, we said, people want to get on our stage. They want to get their message out. They always want to come to us and say, can you help me get my message out? We helped people this week do that down in Miami at the Aircraft IT and conference, and people want to do that. So we said, people want access to our stage. So we said that was the first thing we had. We had a utility where people wanted access to our stage. Number 2, people want knowledge about blockchain. They want knowledge about digital and about digital transformation. We have a portal which people can go into and actually do digital transformation training. And we said, secondly, that was some valuable service that we have. Now, our core business is we do digital transformation, project consulting, and we do project implementation, and we do contract sales and marketing. So that's the high level what we do. But we said, what are a couple of the key services that we do that we think that people would actually want or they want access to? All right. And so, within those services, we said, what could we actually provide as a available, service? Hey, I see we got Rachel with us. We were having some technical difficulties, and Rach, you must have found a way to get in tonight.
Hey.
I did. I was driving back from work, so I needed a internet connection that I didn't have. So I'm here.
Awesome. Okay, great. Hey, Rach, where were you tonight? You said you're driving back from work. I think as a key member of our board and a contributor, people need to know who you are and what do you do. So could you just tell people where you were driving from tonight?
I was driving from Glendale, where the DreamWorks animation studio is, and I was there today. And I just started working there hybrid in the studio. I've been there for 2 years, but I'm starting to work hybrid with them.
They wanted people back in the office, right? Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyways, Rachel's an animation supervisor at DreamWorks, and you can go look at her IMDb, look her up sometime. It's fun just to go look at the projects that she's worked on. But Rachel's on our board. She's our creative director, and she helped us with the creative process. So anyway, we're in the middle of beginning to describe the process that we went through. as far as the creation and implementation of our NFT. So we're going to go back to that. So Gabe, after we picked out the utilities or the business services that we wanted to sell, now it was time to say we're going to create an NFT. So that's what we're going to focus on tonight. So Gabe, start us out at the beginning. You know, you are the main guy. You are a key technical guy. Where did all of it start? You know?
Yeah. So, the first thing that we went over was we wanted to make sure that we had some sort of utility attached to our NFT collection. We wanted to put something out there that one would be able to be bought and sold on OpenSea on the market, but it would have some sort of utility to it, which is what we've been preaching. And things that NFTs and blockchains and cryptos with utility are much more valuable because we're able to attach this function to it of our business, and we attached our products and services to it. So it's starting out, it's very simple. Well, it's not very simple, but anybody can do this. Anybody can do this, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay. All right.
with just a little bit of research, anybody could do this. So when it comes to accessibility, if you have a computer or a laptop, it doesn't have to be super powerful. You don't need a rendering computer for DreamWorks. You're going to be able to do this, right? So accessibility, any business, if you're just starting out or if you're a big business out there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So Gabe, what was step one? I mean, we had to start out by we had to say we're going to create it in NFT. We had to find an interesting collectible NFT, and Gabe has seen a lot of NFTs out there, and so what was selling out there, and what people wanted to see, and so Gabe, I went to you and I said, Gabe, what do people want to buy, right? I mean, what do people like to see, and how could we attach that? So what were some of the traits and features that you were kind of looking for, in maybe something that could be turned into an NFT, the graphical part of it? Right.
So, when we're looking at collected NFT collections out there on OpenSea and what's popular and what's selling, they're kind of simple, usually little characters. That's just how it is, simple and simple, small characters.
Above Rachel's head there.
Exactly, and okay. We've got bored apes, we've got pudgy penguins, we've got all these different little mascots pretty much, and that have different sorts of different traits and different different accessories. So that's
right.
the collections that are selling.
Yeah, but Gabe, there was quite a wide variety of them. We found people that were interesting characters. We found pixelated little icons that look like dragons, and we found there's things so which are pretty out there. We find scary things. We find high quality art, and there's really quite a variation. So what we did is we said, what's the theme of our business? What does our business do, right? We do digital. We do digital transformation. We connect people through business. And so we said, first of all, we set off on a journey and we created a work scope. And with that work scope, we put it out there into a design contest is what we did. Rachel, can you talk a little bit about the design contest and what we did to come up with the artwork for our NFT?
Sure. We sent out a prompt to
99 designs.
Yeah. 99 designs, and anyone who was interested in making a design for what we wanted for our NFT, they created one, and we had a lot of different designs, and it was hard to pick which one.
It was crazy, wasn't it? We had over 100 different contestants in this contest, didn't we?
There were some awesome designs in there too.
Yeah, they did a really good job, and so that's how we found our designs, and then we continued to work with the artists that we connected with, who won our contest, and
talk a little bit about that. Yeah, talk about a little bit about what you do in your daily work, because what you did in your daily work at DreamWorks, you actually did in this project here, where you gave people feedback and we tweaked it and we talk about what you did to be able to come to the final design.
Well, because I guess the job that I'm in right now, I'm a supervising animator. So I get to connect with a lot of people all over the world with partner studios, and I'm able to direct them on the direction on how we should have our animation and give them notes on how to make the animation better. And so I essentially did the same thing with our NFT projects, and I worked with the artists through 99 designs, and gave them feedback along the way and gave them great ideas. Well, off of their ideas, I pushed it even further, and we exaggerated some things, and it came out.
Gave some
really,
notes.
Really great. Yeah.
And Gabe said, "Hey, what about this? What about that?" Gabe said, "Hey, Gabe, what were some of your favorite traits that you told them you wanted added to the designs?"
There were a few, but one of the main things that I wanted them to add in there was one that was really rare. So we worked with the artists. We're like, hey, can you add one in there that's going to be one in 1,000? The rarity of popping up. So there's some that one I'm not going to talk about it yet because we still got to release it. But there's some out there that are rare.
But there's one that's going to come out that is the only one. First of all, there's not two. There are no two that are alike. Okay, but there is one that Gabe wanted that was like super unique and different. And so there's one that's very different. One peep guy that's really different. And so you're going to have to keep your eye out for that one. That one's really special. But Gabe, I was talking about, you told the artist, hey, why don't we put a watch on? And so some of them have watches. And I said, well, we want wrenches. And some of them had wrenches in their hands. And then the artist, Rachel, the artist came up with some cool things like that holographic, pad that guy is holding above your head there right now. They came up with that. And I'm like, that is cool. We're all about digital and about things like that. And so Rachel worked with the team to put in some really cool features into the design so that they became unique. All right. So let's take it from there. Gabe, what was the next step, that we had to do? So we came up with a design. Now what? Now what do we have?
So there is a certain format, right? And there are a few different programs that you're going to be needing to have in order to randomly generate all these different NFTs. So first of all, you need layered PNG files, right? So we got the artists to create layered PNG files. So all the NFTs that we have we have a base layer, we have a background, body, a head, eyes, so that they're interchangeable, and we're able to just swap them out, in our code, and we have I believe there's 2 programs that you're going to be needing, at least that we're using. There's other programs that you'd be able to use.
So let's take a pause there for a second. I just wanted we have a slide that's queued there right now that I just wanted to throw up on the screen. And if we put that up, you'll see that each of these different aviator peeps that we have, they have different features and characteristics and traits. And that's what we're talking about, where like, Gabe wanted, a bunch of them to have different symbols for certain cryptocurrencies hanging around their neck, right? And so Gabe, you picked out, Ethereum, and there's Stellar, and there's I don't know, a bunch of different ones that are there.
XD, there's XRP,
XDC and XRP, and okay, yeah, USDC. Right, exactly, yeah, and then Rachel wanted to have different eyes and different facial features, right, Rach? And so you gave them directions to do what different things did you tell them to do?
I just gave them some ideas on how we could expand like the gender and the different skin tones, and just so that we could have a variety of different people.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was. Yeah. Hey, and Gabe, I didn't tell you this yet, but we just got back from the conference, and one of the guys there was really super excited, and he opened up, the NFTs, and he was looking at them. And I didn't get to have this conversation with him, but Susan was there, and she said, the guy said, "Oh, I like the angry eyes. I get angry sometimes. That's the one I want." So, already we saw people.
Angry eyes.
I know. Alrighty, we see people associating with different aspects of it. So that was really cool. So we did these different traits that we felt like people could kind of connect with. And then we had some people working on the ramp, and we had some people holding wrenches, and then, having headsets on with microphones. And then we also went back to some old style aviators where we had some, some flight jackets and some leather flying helmets. And then what happens, tell people what happens next. We have these different layers and all these different traits. Now, I don't know if people understand this, but Rachel, how long would it take for somebody to individually design 10,000 of these? Themselves. Just to manually create 10,000 of them.
I don't know off the top of my head, but that sounds like a giant headache. edgy.
Okay. All right.
That sounds really sticky and messy. So
it's a lot of work. Just
like
a lot of work.
Pain in the butt.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
So Gabe, what did you do to actually create 10,000 then? Because they're not done manually. It's automated. We create these layers, and the layers are then put into a program, and they're manipulated. Now, Gabe, how do you actually go about doing that?
Yeah, so like I said, we're using a couple different programs. One of them is Visual Studio Code, and we're able to randomly generate 10,000 different NFTs. And the thing about it is we were able to. I don't know code very well. Okay, I've taken some classes. I took one in college and high school, and my coding knowledge is not amazing, right? And we were able to get some code from Stack Overflow and from GitHub and put it in these programs, and we're able to, with minimal coding knowledge, be able to do these things. So I just think that's one thing you people might be afraid of is this do you have to be a coder? Do you have to be able to program? And it definitely helps. It definitely would help, especially with we had some bugs. It's not easy, and there was some difficulties getting it to work, but we were able to get it to work. So
we worked our way through it. And there was some complications because we committed that everyone would be different. There's going to be just slightly over 10,000 of them. And every one of them is different. And in order to be able to do that, Gabe, you had to put in some parameters which set, rarities is what it's called. Explain what a rarity is first, because it may not be obvious to everybody who is not in the NFT world. What does it mean if certain things have rarities?
Yeah, so like if you just look at the screen right there, we've got a bunch of different backgrounds, and the blue and yellow might be 1 in every 10 NFTs. It's a different percentage. We've got 1 in 10 chance of it being a blue background or a yellow background. There's different amounts of blue backgrounds. We maybe have, I don't know how many we have, but blue is pretty common compared to we've got a gold one up there that we had that maybe there's one of the rarer ones. So different backgrounds, different items, they all have a different rarity on them.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. All right. So in the end then is that, Rach, you worked with the people to come up with the design and with the different layers and the traits. And together we tweaked it and we said, we want a camera, we want an iPad, we want, a holographic pad, we want a flag, and we put all these things together. They were all in different layers. There was maybe a matrix of 100 by 100. No, I'm sorry. That's not right. I mean, there was maybe a matrix of 10 by 10 or 10 by 12 of each of these things. And what I mean by that is that there was maybe 10 different things that they were holding in their hand, and there was maybe 10 different backgrounds and 10 different bodies and heads and hats. And when you mix them all together, it can create quite a collection when it's programmatically generating 10,000 of them, right? Mm-hmm. So Gabe, then take us to the next step. Is that you set all those parameters up, you set up the code, and then what happens after that?
Yeah, so once we've got all these images generated, the next thing, another big part of this is getting it onto the blockchain, and that's actually a very difficult thing to do if you're not using some sort of third-party software. We used something called NFT Port, and they're able to help you develop these and put these onto the blockchain, and so you don't have to know any code knowledge at all, and you get an API key, and you're able to mint NFTs and pull information off of OpenSea, or it's super easy.
If you're not using that program, for those watching out there, is that I've created NFTs one at a time, and you can go to OpenSea.io and you can create your own NFT collections. But what happens is it's a 1-by-1 creation where you have to put in a title and type in a description and give it certain data attributes, about it. What kind of coins will you accept to buy? And then you have to upload the image, and then you can publish it to the blockchain, publish it to OpenSea, and then you can put it up for sale. So there's multiple steps that are occurring. And if you had to type all of this in and do all this manually, it would be a very arduous process, and it would take a long time. And so, Gabe, if I understand what you're saying correctly, the NFT Port program takes the parameters that you've put in, and it does that. It puts them up there on OpenSea, right?
It does. Yep.
Okay.
So, and it allows us, we get a specific API key that we're able to, mint these NFTs, all these at once. or whatever we need to do. And I believe they're using Ethereum and Polygon and a few other
I think
chains.
they have Solana out there as well. So,
yeah.
So, the most popular ones are Ethereum, and we had to make a decision whether to put it on Ethereum or Polygon. And, we initially chose Polygon. Now, Gabe, why did we choose Polygon? Let's just put it out there why we chose Polygon.
Well, Ethereum, especially last year, a single gas fee was incredibly expensive. So maybe if you were trying to transfer a small amount of money or an NFT from one account to another, you might have to pay a fee of anywhere from $100 to $500. It was insane.
Yeah,
or more, depending on the
so
transaction.
So if we had a $30 NFT, for example, or one that was 0.02 Ethereum right now, that's approximately $32. Last year it might have cost $100 or $150 just to transfer that. Okay, the gas fee, right? Today it's $1 or $2, but you don't know where the cost of that is going to go. It's supposed to be we're not going to talk about the Ethereum merge here on this, but today, but going from proof of work to proof of stake is hopefully going to reduce the cost of using Ethereum. But we chose Polygon because right now the cost is a fraction. It's maybe 1/100th of the cost. A penny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, 100th of a penny to publish or transfer an NFT. So right now we wanted to make these available to people, and so we wanted to do it in the most cost-effective manner. And so again, we did our research and we chose the things which were best for our business and made it possible for us to be successful in implementing this project. So we did our research and we decided that the Polygon chain was the best. Now, in the end, it doesn't make a tremendous amount of difference once it's in OpenSea, whether it's on Ethereum or Polygon, except that you have to be able to buy with the coins that the Polygon chain accepts. All right. So we're going to get into that in another session where we're going to talk about actually buying, but we chose the coins that it would take. Like you can buy our NFTs with wrapped ETH, with Matic wrapped ETH. You can buy them with Matic. You can buy them with a number of different, with DAI. You can buy them with Polygon. You can buy them with DAI coin on the Polygon chain, and there's a number of others. Okay, but for another time.
I was just going to say, right, if you know anything about crypto, you know that if you're going to be doing anything on the Polygon chain, it's going to have to be on the Polygon chain. So
right, yeah. And what Gabe and I are going to do is another video where we're going to help people better understand how to buy Matic or buy wrapped ETH and on the Polygon chain, and have that in your wallet so that you can purchase these in the future. That'll be for another time.
It'll be a little confusing.
Yeah, well, it can be if you're not familiar with it. And guys, over the weekend, Rachel, you're a creative person, you're an art person, and you haven't been in, cryptocurrency, as long as like what Gabe has, and certainly not as long as I have, but not as long as what Gabe has either. And what did you guys do over the weekend, together? What did you help each other do over the weekend?
Set up some accounts.
Yeah.
What he said. I continuously learn more and more about crypto and the blockchains from you two. So I learned on how I can invest more in which coins and how to understand more about the blockchain. And so Gabriel helped me learn more about that so that I could choose where I want to invest.
Yeah, and Rachel, not unlike most people, Rachel had a couple of wallets and she has some cryptocurrency in those wallets. She's had it there for maybe, a year or something like that, but she hasn't been actively using them. And so, we all need a little bit of help to be able to get us from where we are to the next step. So we might be at different stages in our journey, along the journey of cryptocurrency, right? And listen, down at the conference this week, I was down at the Aircraft IT conference in Miami, and I did a stage presentation about blockchain and how people are using it. And the main thing people wanted to learn and understand was use cases and how people are using it. But to kick off the presentation, the stage presentation I had, guys, I had everybody in the room raise their hand. I said, who out there holds a crypto wallet? And I said, put up your hand, right? And I said, come on, help me out. Everybody do this. Put up your hand. Don't be shy, because I really need to know the knowledge that people have out there about like cryptocurrency and blockchain. And the room probably had maybe, there might've been 500 people in the room, maybe in that particular presentation I was doing. And maybe 5 or 6 people raised their hand. All right. So
Wow.
So
Not enough.
yeah, no, not enough, not enough. Gabe says it right there, not enough. Right. Okay. And so really we're on this venture of trying to help people along this path. And, just like Rach, she's like, I want to learn this stuff. Rach, you and I have been talking about this for, a couple of years now. And she's like, I got to do this. I need to know this. I need to learn this. I need to understand this. This needs to be part of my knowledge base, going forward. And then we said, we need to do NFTs. And so do not be afraid. All right. Reach out and get help. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do. We're trying to do videos. We're trying to train people. We're trying to educate people. And then at the same time, we're trying to figure out how to put those things into our business to be able to help our business really to grow. So we got to the place where we published these on the blockchain. Now, Gabe, take us to the next step. Is that we had to put them up for sale and things like that. So just take us through the next step of the process.
Yeah. So once we've got everything, put up onto OpenSea, you've got to create the collection and, descriptions and links to social media. And that is, I think, a big part of this. And a big part of it is the marketing and the social media after and before. And before is a big part. Yeah. And so that's the next step.
Yeah, well,
and it's a continuous thing.
Yeah, we're doing this just a little bit differently than what you see with the big hype, NFTs that are out there. The NFTs that are like a big major project that are coming out, and and they do a lot of marketing and they do a lot of promotion all around it, and they create really a high demand. They create a FOMO, a fear of missing out, and a lot of interest and demand, which that's really a good thing. But that's not the path that we went down. Listen, we weren't all about creating the big, you got to get this NFT and it's coming soon and it's going to be on Friday and now you need to run out and buy it and everybody buys it and the price goes up. I wish that we could have done that. But what was the most important thing in our business was that we created a utility, and this NFT became a facility or a vehicle to be able to help us to promote our business services. And so we weren't about the hype of creating an NFT that was going to grow in value because it was a collectible that somebody wanted to collect. It was about providing value through the NFT and the utility that we gave. Now, we know that over time the price is going to go up because actually, if you would have bought this NFT about 2 weeks ago, the price went back down again over the last 2 days. But when we first released it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, then Ethereum went up and the value of it went up about $800, just within about a week. And so somebody could have bought it and sold it and made 20% on it, in a very, very short period of time. But then the price has gone down again, and now it's back down, to about where it was about a couple of weeks ago. But that's not the point. The point is that we've created an NFT, which actually is a vehicle to be able to market and sell our services to people. So that when you hold one, you have access to our stage, you have access to our knowledge, and oh, by the way, it's going to grow in value because of the cool, artistic nature of what Rachel and the team have really brought to it and created that. Now, I want to add one more thing to this, is that don't forget, this is really a store of value is what it is, because if you're a holder of the NFT, you can actually, if you don't use it, you can actually sell it, and hopefully it'll be at a higher price than what you bought it for. And so the services or the utility that you're getting from our business actually in the end then becomes free, because what you've done is you've held that value in that NFT and then you're selling it really later at a future date. So, Gabe, what else can we tell people today about the process of creating this and publishing it and putting it out? Is there any other high level things, maybe some challenges that you had, or maybe the most difficult things that you've been struggling with that we had to overcome to be able to do this?
Yeah, I just want to say, if you're doing this alone, definitely be out there looking, being active, looking for help. Because if you do get stuck on something, like I got stuck on some code and trying to put together some code for a website using JavaScript, and if you need to go talk to somebody on Discord, or if you want to search up somebody on Fiverr to help you just to code this one thing, don't be afraid to get help, because that's we all have these egos and we want to be able to do this, but it's it's. There are some problems, and if you run into problems, you can always get help.
Yeah, and we did that all along the way.
There's lots of different ways. Yeah,
we did that all along the way. Rachel, she coordinated the contracting out of the artwork, and then I went out and had somebody do some customization of it, for us in another contract site, and then we've gone out and had some people on different sites, do some contract programming for us. And so really, you're absolutely right, Gabe. We pulled together, our core team, which is our team in our business. And then we actually contracted out different things to be able to help us to make this successful. So in the end, we're learning along the way, but we're using these modern day momentum of cryptocurrency and blockchain and NFTs to be able to help grow our business. I mean, that's kind of what the bottom line was. And what I'm the most excited about, I was talking to Susan about this tonight, is that we have a way right now for someone to immediately acquire our services. And, it doesn't require us to do a big, long contracting process or, all the details behind that. I mean, you literally can go to OpenSea today and you can buy one of the Aviator Peeps stages, NFTs, and you can have access to our stage, as soon as we can get you on the schedule. And so that's what's really one of the things that's exciting about it to us, is that we have been able to accelerate the process of offering our valuable products and services by working together as a team here and making things happen. Hey, Rach, what are you excited about as kind of the next steps of what we're doing with this project right now?
I'm excited just to see people finding their own little character on OpenSea and being able to see the different designs and see who they connect with. And I'm excited for people to do that, and as well as release our next NFT collection, because that is my collection that I've worked with another artist, and I really like that collection. So I'm excited for people to see that one. Yeah.
I am too. Hey, we decided that we would each take ownership of different collections here. And even though we work together as a team to make this happen, the first one that came out, this is my collection. I like connecting with people. I like networking. And so we decided that the Aviator Peeps, this first one, was really, my collection. All right. And then Rach, she grabbed the second one because she liked the design, and we thought we had a name for it, but we might change the name. We have a couple of names that have gone back and forth, but they had some really cool features and fantastical, kind of features to them that we thought were going to be attractive to people. And so that's going to be the next one that's coming out. And then the third one was Gabriel's, collection. Gabe, tell people about that one. And that one's going to be coming out later this year, actually. So what is that one?
Well, that one has to do with crypto. So, it's not out there yet, but
it was planes and crypto coins and, laser beam eyes and things like that, so that was really pretty cool. So we kind of we gravitated to certain features that we were excited about. But Gabe, if I were to ask you the same question I asked Rachel, is that what are you most excited about with this project?
Well, like we were talking about earlier, is the utility of these things. And we didn't mention it, but one of the collections that we have has a portal that has crypto training in it and training about blockchain. And I'm excited for anything that has to do with utility in crypto, because that is what I've been focusing on. And or in blockchain, NFTs, everything that has to do with utility.
Gabe,
because that's where these things are going. So
Gabe, I had a second person reach out to me this week, and I haven't even had a chance to tell you this yet, but he asked me if he could provide some private training, in the portal on different blockchain aspects. And so I had yet another person come to me and ask me if they could provide some private training. So if you're going to be a holder of the Aviator Peeps Admission NFT, you're actually going to get access to our training portal and the videos that we have and live training within that portal. So that one's really, pretty exciting. So I agree with you. And then so just at the end, what I'm the most excited about here, guys, is that we are able to provide our services. I am passionate about helping people in aviation. I'm passionate about digital. I'm passionate about aviation. I'm passionate about helping people to be successful in the implementation of digital. And so for me to be able to have a tool or a facility or a utility or a vehicle to be able to offer our products and services that can help us to make them available to you more quickly and easily through this NFT vehicle is really super exciting for me. And so over the next few weeks, as we talk more about it and we bring more people on board, we're looking forward and we're excited to be able to have you come on board and be part of this project with us. Now, you can acquire our NFT. We have a slide we'll throw up there real quick. If you want to acquire ours and if you want access to our stage or access to the portal, you can go to OpenSea.io and you can search on Aviator Peeps, and up will come the stages and the admission, and we're going to have the connect NFTs up later this week. But right there is the URL for Aviator Peeps stages. That's where you get access to our stage, and we will work with you to get you on our stage. And so basically, we do that. We're offering that right now. That's available as we speak here today. But also, if you're interested in having your own NFT project, whether it be something like what we did to offer your products and services, or whether you're looking at supply chain, or whether you're looking at warranty on the blockchain, or whether you're looking at managing assets or records or NFTs, we have connections with a very large number of companies that we work with. And I routinely talk to every single day to those companies and the things that they're doing. And I'm collaborating with them, and I have the ability to be able to sit with you and understand what your needs are, work with you to understand what your needs are, and find products and services. I spoke with a gentleman just yesterday who said, I want to be able to manage my supply chain on the blockchain. And we're going to have some meetings about how we get in touch with the people that are doing that in production. And I'm going to help them walk through that and help connect them with a project. And that's the other thing that we do. Hey guys, thanks for joining me tonight and being part of this discussion. Rachel and Gabriel, I appreciate it. Your knowledge is absolutely critical for the success of this project. All of us working together, make a complete team, and we're able to do this together. And I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Of course.
You're welcome.
Yep. And hey, everybody, thanks for watching tonight. And our next broadcast will be next Thursday night. And I'll advertise what our conversation is going to be, what the discussion is going to be. But we are passionate about helping you to be successful with digital in aviation. And whether we're going to talk about NFTs or anything else, we are passionate about doing that. We're going to continue to do that. If you want to learn more about the project, you can go to DigitalAircraft.io. That'll take you right directly to the Aviator Peeps NFT project. You can learn more about it. There's a big blue button on the page. If you push that button, it takes you to OpenSea.io, and you can actually acquire one of these NFTs. And so, we're here to help you. We want to be part of this, and we're passionate about helping people to learn more. We are in this for the long run and for the fun. And tomorrow we also have a Clubhouse conversation. And I don't think I have a banner for that, but if you go to aviationaerospace.club, that's a URL that I have where it redirects you to the clubhouses that we have. And so it's 7 o'clock Eastern, or 7 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern time. We have a clubhouse room that we're running where what we're doing is we're continuing the conversation from this summer about blockchain and aviation. And we're talking about the different use cases and the things that people are doing in the industry, and completely trying to help you to understand how you and your business can potentially implement blockchain in your business, or to help you to learn about what others are doing so you can be successful, doing your own project. So everybody, thanks for joining tonight. I'm Mark Schultz with Digital Aircraft. And if you want to learn more, go to our website, which is digitalaircraft.org. And we are always here to help you. Thank you for joining tonight. Fair winds and following seas. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you in our next broadcast.